Welcome everyone to this listening part 4 news item analysis. Now, before we get started, I want to let you know that, listening part 4 is actually very important for levels 5, 6, but also for level 7 or higher. This one's just in the middle, okay? Level 5, 6, we need to get a good at least 3 in this part, okay? Now, for level 7s or higher, we need to get almost all of them, okay? But at least four or five, okay? So, also, I'm here in the listening part for news item section of the CELPIP library. And here we have this great video about tips and strategies for part 4, okay? And I will leave a link in the description box, or as well, you can find the listening part 4 tips and strategies video in the listening part 4 playlist, okay? And this video will give you some really great ideas about how you can listen effectively and answer the questions effectively for part 4. So I recommend that video, okay? Now, today we're going to be doing a sample from volume 3. Oh my goodness, the blizzard. Welcome to Canada. And here we have blizzards, okay? So let's get started. So then, everyone, I want to let you know that I will be giving you a chance to listen and answer the questions yourself. Okay? We're going to do it together. So, firstly, I just want to give you a few tips on what we should be doing. We should be listening to full sentences, okay? Lower levels, this is the most difficult part. We need to listen to full sentences and not only focus on words, because we need to gather ideas, okay? So we need to listen and we need to repeat as much information as we can. Of course, higher levels, if you can take notes or if anybody can take notes, that's great. But we should never let taking notes distract us from listening. This is very important. Okay, it's more important to listen and repeat as much information as you can. All right? Repeating, I find, works better for lower levels. Now, what information should we be listening for? Well, this is a news. So we need news reports. So we need to listen to factual information. What happened? Where did it happen? Why did it happen? Who did it happen to? What are they going to do? Or what couldn't they do? Okay? This is very important for the news report. Okay? So then, everyone, first we're going to listen to the news. Okay? I'm going to give you a chance to listen. And after that, we're going to go over to the questions. And I'm going to give you a chance to answer the questions. Okay? All right. So first, let's get started with the news.
Listening to a news item. You will hear a news item once. It is about 1.5 minutes long. Then 5 questions will appear. Choose the best way to complete each statement from the drop-down menu. Now on the news, winter with a vengeance. Halifax experienced its first snowfall this year on November 19th, but no one was ready. The result was chaos during the morning commute. Nova Scotia is subject to black ice, an almost invisible slippery covering on roads. Forming just before daybreak, it causes treacherous conditions at the busiest time when countless commuters are heading into the city. On November 19th, not only was the black ice waiting for unprepared motorists, but a quick blizzard reduced visibility to near zero and intensified the hazardous conditions. Motorist Alan Cameron said that it was like driving on a skating rink. Stuck for more than 2 hours, most of that time at a standstill, he was terrified that someone would smash into him. He was disgusted that the city hadn't salted the roads during the night. City spokesperson Samantha Park asserted that the city is always prepared for snow emergencies. At least 30 salt trucks were on the roads early that morning, but the blizzard caused havoc so quickly that the salt trucks couldn't move through the stalled traffic.
So now, everyone, let's get to the questions, okay? And we have 3 minutes. So I will give you, it's about 35 seconds per question. So I will show you 35 seconds for each question. Here we go. Question one. Now, question two. Now, question three. Now, question four. Now, question five. Okay, then, everyone. Now, let's get to answering the questions, okay? And I hope you got them all. Let's just look at our script here. Okay, and here I have the script. Well, if you heard that very well, this is very true. This is very true. This happens in Canada so much. Well, they were talking about Halifax, which is Eastern Canada. And I'm here in Western Canada in Edmonton. And I can tell you it's the same. In winter, it's the same here. And we have the similar situations. Actually, right now, the whole city is covered in white because we had some major snowfalls recently. So, and the roads are terrible for driving. So I understand this situation very well. Okay, well, let's look at the questions, everyone. Number one, according to the report, the storm was a rare occurrence. Rare occurrence isn't normal for this time of year, can happen every year, will be a vengeance. So I can tell you that it's definitely not D. Will be a vengeance. That was a trick. Now on the news, winter with a vengeance. So this was to catch the students that are not paying attention or who don't understand full sentences. That's what I told you earlier. If you just focus on the word vengeance, you might choose that answer. Now, will be a vengeance? No. With a vengeance, this comes from the word revenge or to avenge. And this word means to come back stronger or to do something strong after it wasn't strong. So, will be a vengeance? No, because it hit with a vengeance. So, no. Also, I can tell you it's not. Well, the other three are very tricky, but I think that it's not a rare occurrence. Rare means not often, occurrence means happen, and it's wintertime, right? So, according to what I heard, winter is back. Halifax experienced its first snowfall this year on November 19, but no one was ready. So, no one was ready, but it happened. Okay? So, it's not that it's rare because it happens before. So, isn't normal for this time of year? Also wrong because it's winter. It can happen. So, can happen every year. It's the first snowfall of the year. So, that's the answer. And also, it says down here that city spokesperson Samantha Park asserted the city is always prepared for snow emergencies. It's always prepared because it happens many times. That's winter. Okay? So that's why the answer is C. Two, the city could not improve the roads because they were too slippery, vehicles were stuck on the roads, the trucks were not prepared, the blizzard struck late. This one was a little bit tricky, and I do think that the key was in the end. It said here, well, first it says here, forming just before daybreak. Well, no, that's about the storm. Okay, on November 19th, not only was the black ice waiting for unprepared motorists, but a quick blizzard reduced visibility to near zero and intensified the hazardous conditions. So, forming just before daybreak is not late, it's in the morning. And also, it says here that the result was chaos during the morning commute. So, morning time is not late time. So, I don't think it's that late answer. And also, about trucks towards the end. At least 30 salt trucks were on the roads early that morning, but the blizzard caused havoc so quickly that the salt trucks couldn't move through the stalled traffic. Stalled traffic. Stuck. Stalled means stopped or stuck. You can't move. So that's why, well, it's not the trucks were not prepared. They were ready. So they were ready for any emergency. And also, it's not struck late because it was early in the morning. Now, it did say the roads were too slippery. That's true, but that's not why the trucks could not improve the roads, because vehicles were stalled or stuck, couldn't move on the roads. Okay? All right. What about number 3? The situation on the roads worsened or got worse or were made worse because the roads were salted, drivers were driving terribly, the storm hit at night, and it was during rush hour. So I think we read that a little bit. We read that a little bit already. We read the result was chaos during the morning commute. And it said here, stuck for more than 2 hours, most of the time at standstill. He was terrified that someone would smash into him. Okay, well, it says the city hadn't salted the roads during the night, but it said here that they were trying to. So why the situation was made worse because the roads were salted? No, they were not salted. So not A. Drivers are driving terribly. They were stuck. So it wasn't really like they were driving terribly. And the storm hit at night? No, it was early in the morning. So the answer should be D. It was during rush hour. The morning commute is rush hour. So that's the reason why the answer is D, okay? And Samantha Park could not drive because of the roads, updated the public on the matter, attempted to send enough trucks, answered Alan Cameron's complaints. So Samantha Park, it said here, city spokesperson Samantha Park asserted that the city is always prepared for no snow emergency. So city spokesperson, so she's the one that's updating the public. That's what she is. It should be B, on the matter, on the situation. Could not drive because of the roads. She wasn't driving. She's not the one. Well, she did send the trucks. And it wasn't clear about whether she answered Alan Camera's complaint. So it should be B. And number 5, this news report mostly illustrates the difficulties of helping drivers. Could be the intensity of winter in Halifax. Maybe. Ineffective or doesn't work. City emergency response. And the perils of winter driving. Perils, difficulties. I definitely think that it's not A, the difficulties of helping drivers, because they're trying to help the drivers. And it's mostly about a storm, a blizzard, that caused difficulties for drivers. I wouldn't say it's B either. Intensity means strong, because it's not only about the storm. They did say there was a blizzard, there was a storm, but this made the driving conditions terrible. For that reason, the answer should be D. The difficulties of winter driving, or the situations, the problems that we can have because of winter driving, the storm, winter driving, okay, the blizzard. So this blizzard caused difficulties for winter driving in Halifax, okay? Now it's not just about ineffective city emergency response, because the city tried to send the trucks, but it just didn't work, okay? So yes, driving in winter in Canada is very difficult, and there are lots of accidents, everyone. That's one of the difficulties about living in Canada. But at the same time, I like winter, and winter can be very beautiful, and it can be, there are lots of winter activities that we can do. Just the driving is not good, and also the winter is very long, especially in my hometown. So, everyone, were you able to get all of them correct? I hope you did. Now, everyone, it's always very important to try and understand the answers, why the answers are the answers, and why the answers are not the answers, okay? This is very important. And for that matter, I will be leaving a link. I will be leaving a link in the description box so you can practice this listening all over again. Okay, you can do the listening and then you can do the questions. Different questions on here. So you can give it a try. Version 2. Many of the CELPIP exams have version 2s. Okay, you might even get this one. Okay, so that's very good for you to practice. And let's try and practice the script as well, everyone. Let's read the script. Let's try to understand the vocabulary, the language, the expression. This will really help you prepare for this type of listening for news reports, okay? Also, let's remember about CELPIP Library. CELPIP Library has over 50, 60 Part 5 examples. Yes, with version 2s, nearly 60, and we will be adding more coming up this month, okay? So for that matter, I will be leaving a link, or at the bottom of the link, you will see another link to purchase a library pass right over here. And everyone, right now, with discount code CELPIP79, you can get a 3-month subscription for $10.99. That's a great deal, everyone. So I strongly recommend that you subscribe to the CELPIP library, okay? Let's remember, everyone, let's remember that practice makes perfect.